Hi, it's Danielle, and this is Chatter Out Loud, a podcast where I share thoughts and TV reviews, starting with one of my favorite shows, Big Brother. Big Brother Season 23 premieres on July 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CBS. We're 2 days away, and I am so excited. If you haven't already, you can check out my previous episodes where I share my first thoughts and first impressions on the cast. Yesterday, we learned of a second cast shakeup, and so I shared thoughts about that and gave a little bit of information. The guests haven't even moved in, and there's already been 2 changes made to the cast. So I share a little bit about that in my review I posted yesterday, or on the episode of my podcast yesterday. And so today, what I wanted to do was first give a follow-up on the most recent casting change, and then I wanted to share a little bit about the house. So last night I shared that Claire is replacing Christine. Claire is another analytical mind that's based on her occupation, an AI techie person. And I wonder if she and Derek X will make a connection since their occupations normally interact with each other in the industry. That's the world of product management, and everything driven by that is data and analytics and studying that data and machine learning and all of that. So maybe they'll find a connection. From what I hear, Claire is a Big Brother and Survivor fan, and that can help and hurt her game. So I hope she plays that to her advantage, and so we'll see. But I'm excited to see her as part of the cast. As far as Christine, they meaning Big Brother, did release a video of Christine explaining her reason for leaving the game. And leaving really before she even got started. I was really excited for her. The reason she's being replaced is because she tested positive for the corona. Yeah, and that's too bad. I was really looking forward to her gameplay. On IG, Derek, the winner from season 16, I believe, he left a comment under her video that he hopes that Christie gets the call for next season. And I couldn't agree more. So again, Claire will be replacing Christine. All right. So Claire is the newest member of the cast, and if you hadn't seen it, and if you're watching on YouTube, I'll insert a picture of the entire cast with this update. By the way, I'm going to be setting up a blog to coordinate with this podcast, so you'll have another avenue to capture visuals that I may reference here on in my episodes. So I'm working on that, and I'll share more about that soon. All right, so let's talk about the house. Big Brother, they shared pictures of the inside of the house, and it's gorgeous. And keep in mind, this season's theme is a beach theme, and part of that twist consists of a gambling element where there will be risk versus reward, as they say. And so the house guests will have to make choices and take risks for deals offered to them. And these deals could help their game or hurt another's game for a week or number of weeks. And with Big Brother, when you're taking risks like that, it's important to think a few moves ahead. Can you suffer the consequences of the choices being made at the time? Is money the only thing? And you're like, well, I'm just going to get a quick few bucks here. But are you there to win the game, or are you there just to get to the jury, or things like these? Are all the things you have to consider. Will the decision you make advance your game? So that's all part of the risk versus reward gambling element. And don't get me wrong, there are times where you just have to play in the moment and play to win and just risk whatever happens next. That could be, you just making a move just to get to the next week. Because things, I'm telling you, like a day or 2 or even a week is like a lifetime in the Big Brother house. So things have the potential to change very quickly. So sometimes in the moment, you just have to play to win and just risk whatever happens. As long as you stick it out through that week, you still have another chance to get to the end. So the goal is to get through the week, and you try not to make too many enemies on the jury. That's another element and component. You want to have a few friends on the jury, and hopefully you won't get a bitter jury. And all this is easier said than done. I'm a viewer, a fan looking from the outside. I've never been in the Big Brother house. I've never played that game. I'm just outside giving my opinions and thoughts just like every other fan. And that's what makes the game so exciting. All right, so as a viewer, we see so much going on, all aspects of the game. We have the advantage of seeing everyone's gameplay, whereas the players inside the house, they only know what's going on, or they only have that perspective from inside the house. They can't see the plotting in the next room, nor can they see everyone's diary sessions. They don't have an objective view of the game. It's only based on what they're experiencing inside the house. And that makes it so much fun for all of us watching and all of the fans, right? I mean, they're locked in a house 24/7. They have no outside influence, no TV, no social media, no phones, nothing that would indicate if they're doing well or not. Although when Zingbot comes in, they kind of have an idea. And if there's like an America's player or America's choice, they kind of get an idea there as well. But for the most part, they only know what they experience inside the house, and that's how they make their decisions, and that it's based on that alone. So it's a good game. I love this game. It's just so exciting, and I just can't wait to I can't wait for it to start. So let's talk a little bit about the house. Big Brother released pictures of the house, and I'm just going to go through my notes and do my best to describe each room, and hopefully it'll be enough so you can get a visual. All right, so by the way, I will have visuals in my YouTube video that coordinates with this episode of the podcast, Chatter Out Loud. So be sure to visit me there if you can't wait till Wednesday to actually see the house. All right. And I think I mentioned before, I'm going to be setting up a blog to coordinate with my podcast, Chatter Out Loud. And so in the future, anytime I reference visuals or pictures during the episode of my podcast, you'll be able to see those on the blog post and in YouTube, but you have multiple areas to see that. All right, so let's get to the house. There were 9 pictures released. And again, I'm just going to go through my notes with a brief description. All right, starting with the HOH room. This is the head of household room. The head of household holds a lot of power. They are the people or responsible for, because a lot of people can influence the HOH, but they are responsible for nominating 2 people and putting them on the block, and the rest of the house will vote to evict one of the 2 people. So this room is where you can gain a little bit of power. You get to have one-on-one sessions. You get to hear from most of the house guests when they want to come up and talk to you and try to make deals. And it really helps shape your strategy. You get to make deals, good or bad ones. You also get good snacks. They give you that big basket of goodies. And I think they request that like pre-game, maybe they put it on the list, or they fill out a survey or something. They fill out something to indicate, the type of snacks they would like, the music they would like to hear, because you get music as well, and they get the letter from home. Now, in the beginning of the season, the letters from home are not that eventful. Towards the mid and end of the season, those letters from home, oh my goodness, everybody's so emotional. And it gets you. So, yeah. So this year, going back to the room is described as a luxurious seaside paradise inspired bedroom. And let me see. I had a picture in front of me. Yeah, and it has like purple glass. It has red tones over the room. I mean, I think I've seen better rooms, but yeah, it's okay. The next room is another bedroom. So it's called the sea glass bedroom. It has frosted pieces of glass, shape of beads, and it gives an illusion of sleeping in a tide pool. The next room is the hangout area. It's not really a room with a door, but it's a hangout area. And usually this hangout area is right outside the head of household room. So when there's activity going on there, people pay attention because it's right outside the HOH room. So this hangout area over the years is where guests play chess or checkers, but normally it's chess. And to me, it's a cover because most often strategies are created around that in that area, or strategies are changed. The room's table is made of, in that hangout area, that they have a table and it's made out of jumbo poker chips. So that are stacked on top of each other. So that was pretty cool. And that those poker chips stays within that risk versus reward gambling twist. So that's pretty cool. The living room. We'll see the guests introduce themselves to one another here in the living room. And it's where the POV, the power of veto, and the eviction ceremonies take place. And that's the place where Dan had his funeral. And I still can't believe that scene. They just were so naive, Danielle. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it's an area that you can see on the HOH monitor as well. Yeah, so that you can see that from the HOH. The HOH has a monitor in their room where they can scan different rooms. The living room happens to be one. And that can offer information. Its coffee table in the living room is made of playing cards. And it's like a marina that goes along with that goes along with this year's theme. So you see the boats and the water on the walls and all that stuff. Not literal water, but windows. So it's pretty cool. The reef bedroom gives an illusion of being deep in the ocean. There's a huge coral reef in the middle of the room, and the beds are around it. And I wonder how they'll walk around that. I mean, I didn't see a way they can walk around it. Maybe the reef is maybe it's mobile and it could be moved to the side or something. But from the picture, it just looked like it's dead smack in the middle. So just picture a statue, or not a statue, what do they call a huge reef just in the middle of the room. A sculpture, that's what I was looking for. It's like a huge sculpture in the middle of the room, and it takes up so much space. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work in the bedroom. Next, there's a yacht bedroom that has tall poles or masts like on a sailboat, and the mast serves as the headboards. So it's huge. I don't think I'd be comfortable with having those things over my head. Well, I'm trying to sleep at night, but that's just me. But it's beautiful construction. It really goes with that beach theme, and it's pretty cool. The bedding have anchors on it, and it's pretty cool. The kitchen, so they pull in the gambling element in the kitchen, and I did explain that. I did explain it. Like, it has this year's theme is a beach theme, and it has the risk versus reward gambling element as a twist. So anyway, the kitchen, the dining room table is a roulette wheel. The wall in the kitchen has, they describe it as having like a 3D bubbles float. And there are also octopus. Is it octopuses or octopi? But anyway, they're all over the wall, over these 3D bubble floats. And on the other wall in the kitchen, there are sharks on the wall. And it looks like the sharks are swarming the wall. So that's pretty cool. Again, sticking with that beach element and the risk versus reward, that gambling component. They incorporated that into the entire kitchen. This year, they have an indoor gym. Now, in past seasons, the gym equipment has been in the backyard. So I think it's pretty cool that now it's indoors, especially when they have that lockdown where they aren't permitted to go out in the backyard because they're setting up for a game or something like that. So there's a little area where it's an indoor gym. And I wonder if that pulled away from other space in the house. I mean, I wouldn't know because every year they change like the layout and stuff like that, but just wondered. And finally, the bathroom. They say it has a beauty bar. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, it has a beauty bar. And that's the designated area where you can do your hair and makeup. Part of the room looks like a spa area. They have chaise lounge there. So I can see that being used as a place to chat. But the whole decor, it looks like a spa area, yeah. And of course, they have the showers and the sinks. Nothing eventful. It's a bathroom. But overall, the house is gorgeous. I'll be looking forward to the tour. And from what I understand, Julie Chen Moonves will be on ET tonight. And today is July 5th. And I think she'll be on ET here. For us, ET is at 7:30 Eastern time on CBS. And maybe she'll be giving a tour. I'm not sure. But I'm sure there'll be a post. They'll post a tour soon. So I'll share, a link or something like that when that comes about. If not, we'll all get to look at it together on premiere night and throughout the season for sure. So, all right, if you're joining me on YouTube, I wanted to share one last look at the updated cast that includes Claire. So I'll insert a picture of that cast picture here. And hopefully this will be the crew that moves in and plays this season. Of course, if any other changes occur, at that time, I'll be back to share an update with you. But for now, this is the cast. These are the players. And I'm looking forward to their gameplay. And right now, that's all I have for you. I want to thank you for joining me. And I invite you to join me here weekly as we go through this season of Big Brother. Again, Big Brother premieres on July 7th on CBS at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be a 90-minute premiere that's live. Yeah, so I'll be watching, and then I'll come back to share my thoughts. And I'll be doing that all season long. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you do too. You can find me here on the Chatter Out Loud podcast, now available not only on Anchor, but Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, and Radio Public. You just search for Chatter Out Loud. You can also find me on Twitter at Chatter Out Loud, no spaces, at Chatter Out Loud with no spaces. I'm also on YouTube. The link is in the description of this podcast or this episode of the podcast. But if you're listening, you can go to, and this is all lower cases with no spaces, you can go to bit.ly/chatteroutloudyt for YouTube. So that's bit.ly/chatteroutloudyt. And just to spell it, it's bit.ly/chatteroutyt. That's bit.ly/chatteroutloudyt. So I hope you come visit me there. When you are there, go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share me with your family and friends, all of those that love Big Brother. I hope they'll enjoy me, and I hope you enjoy me as well. But that like, comment, share, and subscribe is always appreciated. Okay, so thanks again, and I'll talk to you next time.